What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Rebs here, and we got another settlement tour video over at the Sunshine Tidings Co Op in Fallout 4. Now I know what you're thinking. Fallout 4 came out in like 2013, like 10 years ago, and you're still playing it and posting videos about it. Nobody cares, but you know what? I care, and there's a lot of people out there that do care. Fallout 4 will be always my #1 favorite game. I mean, you should see my gaming room. I've got Fallout stuff all over the walls, and you know, it's Fallout. I mean, until they come out with a Fallout 5 and not that 76 crap that they put out, I'm going to continue to play Fallout 4. Alright? I mean, I've got my PS5 sitting up here on the desk, and I'd much rather be on the PS4 playing Fallout 4 and showing you guys my new settlements or previous settlements I just haven't got around to making a video about. And that's what this is. So I would like to welcome you to Camp Harvey. Now, I know, everybody hates Preston, but you know what? At the end of the day, he kept the Minutemen going, and he brought it back together, and we took over the Commonwealth. I mean, he's important, so I think that he deserves to have a Minutemen military base named after him, right? Camp Harvey serves as boot camp for Minutemen recruits. That's its primary function. So there are some mods involved in this build. I don't really care for using mods much because you can build structures and then the mod gets taken down, or it just doesn't work properly anymore and then the structures disappear, which is why I want to go ahead and show this now. Some things have already disappeared, some things I've replaced. So let's just go ahead and get this out of the way, get it on YouTube before it happens again. Now, if I remember right, years and years ago, Ranger Dave, who back then went under Evil Viking 13, yes, Ranger Dave, I've been watching you for that long, built something very similar, I think at this same location. It was a Minutemen training camp. Now, obviously, he plays on PC, had access to mods before, you know, console mods were a thing, and his is a lot better. I don't really exactly remember what his looked like, but I don't think mine's much different, I don't think it's really similar either. I mean, I took some things from him, and I also just kind of did it myself. So, enough talking about how much I love Fallout and Ranger Dave's old Fallout videos. We're just going to get right into it and head on in to Camp Harvey. Now it's a rainy morning in my Fallout universe, but that's okay. Minutemen don't rest. Now this settlement stays very secure for good reason. Gotta love that sound. The new Minutemen train here. They're not all ready to fight yet. They're still learning. They're getting ready to go to their duty stations at the many settlements across the wasteland. So we keep it secure so we can keep training going. When we get attacked, we have actual Minutemen here that have already been trained to fight them off. The trainees, they're supposed to take cover, even though realistically they don't. But in lore, they're supposed to take cover and let the Minutemen handle it and the many turrets and guards that we have around the area. So the base is split up into two different sides. Alpha Barracks side and Bravo Barracks side. Alpha Barracks side is the male's side. Bravo Barracks is the female's side. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, this is the wasteland. Everybody's going to live together. Everybody's going to work together. You can't segregate them like that. Well, I spent some time in the U.S. military, and unfortunately we were segregated like that. That's just kind of how it is. However, here, the two groups, they all work together in tandem. They all go to the shooting range together. They all farm together. The only thing they don't do is sleep and shower together, so that's the only reason why it's separated. They even eat together at the same defect, so it's fine. It's fine. So front and center, we have the proud Minutemen statue standing with these flags flying and a few cannons aiming at you when you walk in the door. With some of these beautiful bushes around. It's just supposed to give you pride when you walk in and get in formation and get ready for Minutemen Boot Camp. So let's head over to the right first. We'll head into the DFAC. I'll show you a little bit behind the building because I got a little thing back there, and then we'll head up into Alpha. So behind here is a recruit no zone. That's what these little gates are for. There's not much going on back here. It's really just kind of a place for the drill sergeants, who I believe this person is not, to kind of hang out and just talk trash about what the recruits have been doing today and just kind of get away. Now, one thing I still need to add to this settlement is an actual drill sergeant's bunk area. Right now they don't really have a place to sleep, but I had to turn off settlement size for this settlement, so there's not a whole lot of space left to be able to build something like that, but we're just gonna go with it. So this is the DFAC, or the dining facility is what that stands for. So we'll head on in. Very basic. I mean, this is basic training in the apocalypse, so this is where all the recruits eat, here at these picnic tables, and then behind us is where they pick up their food. Pink goop, to be exact. Now, if I remember right, this building was already here with the vanilla settlement, so it was just turned into the DFAC. We got our canteen filling stations here, so all the recruits can fill their canteens up when they come to eat. Oh, I can't even see. Okay. Alright, that's enough. Alright, so before we head into Alpha Barracks, we're just going to come around here to this middle building. This houses the medical facility and CQ, which will be the command quarters. So in here, it would be like the drill sergeant's work area. This is where all the drill sergeants would do their paperwork, and it's basically just an office. Remember what I said with mods disappearing? There's supposed to be walls here to separate the two, but we're just gonna say this flag is being hung up with some fishing line to separate the two halves. Back here is the very small medical facility, just in case somebody gets hurt. Gotta have it. Alright, we will head around into the Alpha Barracks. So over here is the Alpha Barracks farm. Again, they work together. There's 2 farms on this settlement that provide food to the dining facility, that way the troops can eat. Over here is the first actual barracks building. This is the 1 Alpha 1 building belonging to Troop 1 Alpha 1. 1 Alpha 2 and then 1 Alpha 3 is over there. We'll get to that. All the barracks buildings are set up pretty much exactly the same, so we're really only going to go in a couple of them. So this first one here, 6 military style beds, and 6 foot lockers, and 6 basic chairs to tie your boots in the morning. Nothing crazy. One Alpha 2, we're not going to go up in there. It looks exactly the same. Alpha latrine, which is the bathroom. Got a couple sinks, toilets, and open showers. But hey, at least they got a shower in the apocalypse. Alright, not going in 1 Alpha 2, so we'll follow these Jersey barriers up here. This is the 1 Alpha 3 barracks. Again, exactly the same, but this one's a little bit different because this one sits tucked out behind the shooting range, which is what these walls are for, to try to catch the shrapnel and the bullets. We don't do live fire if there's people in this building, for good reason. I would like to think these walls are pretty safe, but you know, who really knows? I would assume that this troop probably gets a lot of jokes on them around the base for having to live behind the shooting range. So we'll come down here. This is the actual shooting range itself. We have a 2-tier shooting platform. So the recruits can come up here and they can practice their live fire on these various street signs that we found around the Commonwealth. This clock. Looks like somebody shot the sign a couple times because I would assume it's supposed to be straight, but you know, they're learning. We got this little berm here to kind of protect them. I think this is the one thing that I took from Ranger Dave in his video, because I want to say he did something very similar on this little berm here. So over here we got the washateria, which is just a fancy word for a laundromat. It's where they wash all their uniforms. Wash, dry, and fold. So with that being said, when we move into this gate, it comes into the Bravo area, which is the female area. And this little corner in between both, because as you see, so Bravo side is separated by that fence right there. They come down, and shared space between both troops is shooting range, washateria, and the commissary. So this little area back here is kind of like a common area for them to mingle. That right there is just a control tower for the shooting range. It's where they call their commands and stuff. Just better hope they have good aim and not aim that way. So we'll head over into the Bravo side. So this is 1 Bravo 2. So this is the first, technically the second female dorm that we're coming up on. Again, exact same as all the other ones. Bravo side farming. Got the radio tower, just in case we gotta contact settlements for help or anything. Bravo latrine, we'll go in there. It's a little bit different than the Alpha, not by much. Same amount of stuff, just set up a little bit different. We got the 1 Bravo 1 barracks. Again, exact same thing. And then the gate that comes back out to the front. And that's pretty much the whole settlement. We're going to head up here into the watchtower so you guys can get an overview. And that'll be pretty much it. I mean, it's not a big settlement. There's not much to it, but there's a lot going on around here. So this little area up here would be where the drill sergeants can stand and basically watch over the base itself to make sure all the recruits are doing what they're supposed to be doing throughout the day. So you can look over the range as well. And they can also look over here at the Alpha side and the DFAC, which is also a shared space. Now, as you can see, the fence that we first came in that goes into Alpha goes right past the DFAC, go around. That's where we were. We went up there and around behind the range, ducked back down around the range, came over here to the washateria and the commissary, and then went into the back gate through Bravo side. And see, all the recruits, most of them wear the military uniforms. We have got a few new settlers in here that I haven't issued uniforms yet. That just kind of, I guess, took up jobs already, which is good. Because all these people are going to be sent out to protect the Commonwealth, and they have to learn a little bit of everything about every settlement, and that's what this does here. And again, we do have actual Minutemen here on guard. So these guys have already been through training. They're all in actual Minutemen uniforms, and they just stay on guard to protect the recruits. So you got people standing around over here. I was trying to see if I could find one of the drill sergeants, because they have different uniforms as well. I want to say I put them in the colonial dusters if I remember right. But they're probably out hiding in their back little corner. But yeah, that's Camp Harvey. So I hope you guys enjoyed that settlement tour of Camp Harvey, the home of Minutemen training. And I will see you guys on the next one. Alright everyone, this is the night tour of Camp Harvey. No need for me to speak much into this one, so I'm just going to play some music over it, but I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I got this inspiration from, I believe it was Ranger Dave, I think did this years ago, something very similar.